Has anyone ever looked at you and said, "You don't look your age"? Maybe you brushed it off with a modest smile, a shrug, or a casual laugh. But inside, did the question ever echo a little louder? Why do I seem younger? What if the answer isn't found in your skincare routine, your diet, or your DNA? What if the glow others see in you, the softness in your expression, the lightness in your step, the calm in your presence, isn't just a physical trait, but the reflection of something deeper, something timeless? Some people radiate not because they resist aging, but because they no longer resist themselves. They don't wear their years like armor. They move through life without dragging behind the weight of bitterness, fear, or pretense. Their secret isn't in staying young, it's in staying free. And often, the ones who seem untouched by time aren't trying to hold on to youth. They've simply let go of everything that makes people old before their time. In this video, we're going to explore 8 deeper reasons why you may appear more youthful than your peers. Not just in looks, but in energy, in presence. These reasons are not about vanity, they are about essence. So as we explore them together, ask yourself, could this be why the mirror treats me kindly? Could it be that what people see on my face is really something shining through from the inside? Let's find out. Reason 1, you're an old soul and time moves differently around you. Some people enter a room and you feel like time slows down. They're calm, collected, quietly observant. They don't need to dominate the space, they hold it. And often, these are the so-called old souls. To be an old soul doesn't mean you're ancient. It means you've lived enough, felt enough, learned enough to carry wisdom that others spend a lifetime chasing. And that kind of wisdom doesn't weigh you down. It frees you. Old souls don't get caught in the superficial storms. They don't rush through life trying to win every argument or prove every point. They've already seen that game, and they know what matters. This inner clarity shows in the way they move, the way they speak, the way they smile. There's less tension in their jaw, less friction in their mind, less urgency in their choices. And because they don't live in constant emotional reaction, their nervous system rests, their body softens, their energy flows. They appear younger, not because they're untouched by pain, but because they've learned not to hold on to it. Old souls often have a quiet beauty, the kind that doesn't scream for attention, but draws it naturally. They've exchanged the race for presence, and that presence makes them magnetic. You might not even be aware of it, but if people often describe you as calming, mature beyond your years, or wise in a way they can't explain, there's a good chance you carry this energy. And it's this groundedness, this inner balance, that shields your body from the erosion of constant stress. Because when the spirit is still, the face follows. Reason 2, you're deeply connected to natural and subtle energies. Not everyone is tuned in to what can't be seen. Most people rely only on what they can touch, measure, explain. But you sense things. You walk into a room and feel the atmosphere before a single word is spoken. You pick up on shifts in energy, even in silence. This sensitivity is not random. It's a sign that you're aligned with the subtle forces that surround us all. Your connection to nature, to energy, to the rhythm of the universe is more than just a preference for peaceful places or quiet moments. It's a way of being, and it keeps your soul from drowning in the static of modern life. You protect your energy without even realizing it. You step away from noise before it infects you. You choose environments, people, and even thoughts that nourish you. And this deep, intuitive self-preservation keeps your system cleaner, calmer, lighter. People like you often seem ageless because they live in resonance rather than resistance. Your connection to the natural world, be it through meditation, solitude, intuition, or even time spent in silence, creates a kind of energetic hygiene that others neglect. And this doesn't just keep your mind clear, it keeps your body vital. Your cells, your breath, your posture, all respond to the energy you allow in. While others are constantly overstimulated, your nervous system has space to rest, heal, reset. So if you've ever felt more alive in a forest than in a crowd, if your body relaxes in sunlight or your heart steadies in the sound of water, you're not just reconnecting with nature, you're realigning with yourself. And that alignment is one of the greatest secrets to lasting youth. If you're seeing yourself in these signs, if something is resonating, make sure to subscribe to the channel. This journey is just beginning, and there's so much more to explore together. Reason 3. You carry deep empathy, and you let emotions flow. Empathy is often misunderstood. It's not just about being sensitive to others. It's about having no filter between your heart and the world. You feel deeply, instantly, and it's not always easy, but it's also what keeps your heart alive and your soul awake. When you carry deep empathy, you don't just witness emotion, you absorb it. And over time, this can become a heavy gift, unless you learn how to release. And that's what makes you different. You feel pain, but you don't store it. You process it. You move through it. You cry when needed, reflect when hurt, forgive when possible. This constant movement of emotion is like a river through your soul, washing away what no longer serves you. It prevents buildup. It prevents blockage. And spiritually speaking, it prevents aging. Those who suppress emotion wear it in their posture, their face, their voice. But you let go. You lighten the load, and your body responds to that freedom. There's a softness in empathetic people that can't be faked. A glow that comes not from perfection, but from honesty. From having lived through deep feeling and still choosing openness. You may not always realize it, but your ability to hold others with compassion while not drowning in their pain, that's a rare form of strength. And it gives you a presence that is comforting, magnetic, and yes, visibly youthful. Because when your heart stays open, your soul stays young, and people feel it, even if they can't name it. Reason 4. You carry inner wisdom that calms the storm. There's a kind of peace that doesn't come from meditation or retreats. It comes from having seen enough of life to stop resisting it. It's the kind of peace that settles into the bones, softens the voice, and keeps the heart from hardening. That's what inner wisdom does. It keeps you anchored, even when everything around you shakes. People who live with wisdom don't chase every emotion. They don't react to every trigger. They know when to speak and when silence says more. They've learned the hard way that clinging, controlling, and overthinking only deepen the suffering. Instead, they choose stillness. And that stillness, over time, becomes visible. It shows in the face, in the way they move, in how they listen. Their bodies don't carry the marks of constant internal war. Their nervous systems aren't exhausted by the need to be right or in control. They age differently because they live differently. Wisdom helps you see life in layers. It teaches you that most things don't need to be fixed. They need to be accepted. And this acceptance doesn't make you passive. It makes you powerful. Because when you stop fighting everything, you start flowing with everything. You conserve energy, you soften tension, you begin to glow from within. That glow, that's what people feel when they look at you and say, "You have something. I don't know what it is, but it's calming." That something is your clarity. And clarity, more than anything else, is timeless. Reason 5. You live with a heart that chooses kindness. The world can be harsh, and the easiest response is to close off, to grow cold, to match its cruelty with your own. But you've chosen something much harder and infinitely more powerful. You've chosen kindness. That doesn't mean being soft in the weak sense. It means being soft in the strongest sense. It means you've felt the sharpness of life and decided not to become it. And that decision reshapes your entire being. People who live with compassion don't accumulate as much emotional waste. They forgive more often. They understand more deeply. And that emotional hygiene, whether conscious or not, preserves their lightness. Their bodies don't hold years of unspoken anger. Their faces aren't etched with resentment. Their smiles aren't masks. They're reflections of an inner calm. Kindness is a form of detox. It clears your energy, settles your breath, lightens your step. And when you embody it daily, it becomes part of your presence. You age differently because you interact with life differently. You don't carry what doesn't belong to you. You don't take things personally. You let people be who they are, without letting it poison your spirit. And over time, that choice not only protects your peace, it protects your beauty. Because a kind heart keeps the soul open, and an open soul never looks old. Reason 6. You adapt, and life moves with you. Some people stiffen with age, not just in the body, but in the mind, in the heart, in how they relate to change. But not you. You've learned the art of adaptation, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. You know that life doesn't ask for control, it asks for flow. When things don't go your way, you don't break. You bend, you breathe, you pivot. That flexibility keeps your spirit from becoming rigid, and your body follows. Adapting doesn't mean giving up. It means staying open. It means choosing peace over pride. It means letting go of what you can't control, and that letting go is what keeps you light. While others carry tension like armor, you release it. While others brace against the future, you meet it with curiosity. And that mindset, over time, shapes your presence. You move through challenges with more softness, more resilience. And that shows on your face, in your posture, in your energy. Adaptability is youth in motion. It's the reason some people seem untouched by time. They aren't trying to stop the river. They've learned to swim with it. If people say you're graceful under pressure, calm during transitions, emotionally fluid, this is your gift. Your ability to evolve, to shift without collapsing, is one of your greatest spiritual protections. Because to flow is to remain forever becoming, and that spirit never feels old. Reason 7, you radiate hope, instead of carrying the weight of the world. There's a brightness in those who believe, not blindly, but intentionally. A certain spark in people who choose to see the best in others, to expect goodness even when life offers the opposite. You don't deny hardship, you've known pain, but still, you choose to hope. And that choice shapes not just your heart, but your face, your presence, your entire vibration. People who carry hope walk lighter, they breathe deeper, they smile more easily, not because everything is perfect, but because they've decided not to let darkness win. Optimism is a practice, a discipline, a radical form of self-care. And when you live in that light long enough, your body starts to believe it too. Your cells soften, your gaze brightens, your whole being reflects the message, I trust life. This doesn't mean you're cheerful all the time. It means you have faith in something bigger than the moment. And that faith keeps your soul alive, even when life feels heavy. Hope makes people magnetic, not in the loud way, but in the real way. They attract joy, they give others permission to breathe, and they often look younger, not because they've escaped pain, but because they've refused to live in it. You shine, because you've learned how not to let the darkness dim your light. Reason 8, you live with purpose, and purpose keeps you young. There is a special kind of glow in those who live with intention, not for fame, not for recognition, but because something within them knows they were born to do more than survive. These are the people with purpose. They wake up not just to get through the day, but to give something to it. Whether it's healing, guiding, creating, inspiring, or simply being a light in someone else's dark hour, their life is charged with meaning. And that meaning protects them. Purpose is fuel. It keeps the mind alert, the heart engaged, the body responsive. It gives structure to chaos and turns pain into power. It's not always loud, but it's always alive. When you live with purpose, every moment has weight, but not the kind that drags you down. It grounds you, focuses you, energizes you. People feel it when you walk in the room, even if they can't explain it. There's something steady in your step, something awake in your eyes. And that energy, it's ageless. Purpose keeps you evolving. And people who evolve don't stagnate. They renew. They regenerate. They stretch toward the future like trees toward sunlight. If you've ever felt like you were meant for something more, if others have told you that your presence gives them peace, or strength, or clarity, that's not just personality. That's alignment. And alignment preserves everything, from your vitality to your essence. Because a life lived with purpose doesn't just feel full. It looks it. So maybe now, when someone tells you that you look younger than your age, you won't just smile and brush it off. Maybe you'll pause and remember, this isn't an accident. This glow, this lightness, this sense of being different, it's not luck. It's not random. It's the visible echo of everything you've chosen. To live gently, to forgive quickly, to adapt, to feel, to love, to believe. To walk through a noisy world and still protect your peace. That is what people see when they say you look young. What they're really sensing is your energy, your presence, the fact that you're still soft where others have hardened, still open where others have closed. And that kind of spirit, it doesn't age. So honor it, nourish it, share it. Because the greatest beauty you'll ever carry is the one that comes from within.